Hey guys, tonight we're diving into something that might sound strange at first, like, wait, talking to bamboo. But trust me, by the end of tonight, you'll never look at a forest the same way again. Imagine this. It's a humid night in rural Laos. The sky above is thick with stars, but the jungle below is darker than anything your eyes can adjust to. You're walking slowly, nervously down a dirt path that cuts through a thick grove of bamboo. The kind of darkness that feels wet, like it's clinging to your skin. Your flashlight starts to flicker, and then you hear your name, whispered by something that isn't supposed to speak. You probably won't survive this night. Just kidding, kind of. So before you get too comfortable, take a moment to like the video and subscribe, but only if you actually enjoy what I do here. Also, drop a comment with where you're watching from and what time it is right now. You know, I love that weird little detail. Now, turn off the lights. Let the fan hum gently in the background, and let's enjoy tonight's journey together. You re-dragging your feet through a winding trail that looks like it hasn't been walked in decades. Each step sends up a puff of earthy dust. The bamboo groves on either side of you are so tall and dense, they feel like cathedral walls, green, swaying, whispering. At first, it's just the rustle of leaves, but then the rustling starts to have a rhythm, like breathing. Long, slow, inhaling sounds that seem to come from deep inside the forest. And that S, when you hear it, a soft murmur that does unbelong to wind or animal. It's your name. Just once, just barely, but clear. You stop walking. Your heart does that cartoon thing where it drops into your stomach. You look behind you. Nothing, just that flashlight beam barely reaching through the fog and leaves. And then you see her, a small figure standing at the edge of the trail, wrapped in layers of faded indigo cloth. Her face is mostly in shadow, except for the shine of her eyes, catching the light like a cat's. In one hand, she's holding a tiny clay oil lamp. The flame barely flickers, like it doesn't care about the laws of wind. She speaks first. Her voice is old, not weak, but seasoned, like it's climbed mountains and swum rivers. You shouldn't be here, she says, but since you are, come. Now, logic says you should turn around and sprint like your shoes are on fire. But something in the way she speaks feels familiar, like your grandmother or the way cinnamon smells. It doesn't make sense, but your feet move anyway. You follow her. The path narrows. The bamboo leans in closer, like they're curious, too. One leans down just enough to brush your shoulder. You'd swear it's warm, like it's alive. She leads you to a little shack by a stream. No walls, just woven mats and a wooden frame resting right beside the edge of the forest. Fireflies drift lazily in the air like lazy thoughts. Okay? The moonlight makes the bamboo glow in eerie blue. "This is where I live," she says, settling onto a reed mat. "And where they talk. You want to ask who they are, but something tells you not to. You sit instead." The woman pulls out a folded bundle from under her shawl. It's a map, but not paper. It's made of tree, bark, maybe banyan or figand. It's been painted in deep red strokes. The lines twist and spiral like veins, and some of them glow faintly when her lamp passes over them. "This," she says, tapping the center of the map, "is where the bamboo remembers." And that's when you realize this isn't just a forest. It's a library, a memory, and you've just been invited in. You lean forward, staring at the glowing red spirals on the bark map. They seem to pulse, just faintly, like a heartbeat. You're not sure if it's a trick of the light or something else entirely. The old woman doesn't look at you. She just traces one of the spiral lines with her finger. Her nail is long, yellowed, and curved like it's grown to match the shape of the path. "This one," she whispers, "is not a trail for feet. It's a path for breath." Okay, cool, cryptic. You're not sure what that means, but you nod like you do. You don't want to offend a forest who casually hears plants talk. She looks up. Her eyes glint again, not from the lamp, but from something behind them. "Do you know why bamboo grows in clusters?" You shake your head. "Because they are one, connected at the root. What one feels, all feel." You glance out at the grove behind her hut. The bamboo rustles again, though there's no wind, and suddenly it clicks. That sound isn't rustling, it's whispering. You lean in, focus. The whispers are not in any language you know. They're like breaths being shaped into meaning, like someone trying to speak through water. You hear short phrases, fragments floating through your head. The child is still crying. The red moon came too early. He left the offering too far from the roots. You blink. That wasn't just sound. That was in your mind. Thought you didn't think. You turn back to the woman, your mouth halfway open to ask a question, but she holds up a finger. Listen carefully. They're speaking of what was left unfinished. The bamboo remembers the past. She nods, like she heard your thought. Not just remembers, holds it, traps it. Every scream, every secret, every footstep at midnight. She gestures again to the map. Each line here is a moment that stained the roots. You chop down bamboo with old stories. You'll set them free. And trust me, some of those stories don't want to be alone again. You shiver, not because it's cold, but because the air feels full, heavy, saturated with memory. She places the map gently into your hands. It's warm. Not like it was sitting by the fire, but like it's alive. You feel your pulse in your palms, syncing strangely with whatever's pulsing inside the bark. You've already started listening, she says softly. That's why you heard your name in the grove. Oh, right. Was that the bamboo? You ask. Calling me. She tilts her head. It was something that used the bamboo to reach you. There's a difference. Great. So, possessed plants now. Wonderful. You run your fingers over the strange lines of the map again. One of the spirals matches a path you remember walking earlier today. The same curve, the same slope. And at the center of that spiral is a black dot. What's this? You ask. The woman doesn't answer immediately. Her face changes, shadows seem to gather around her cheekbones, like her skin just folded into itself. Her voice lowers. That's where the monk vanished. Your stomach drops. Vanished. How? In daylight, on a clear path, right in front of his students. Okay, well that escalated fast. The only thing left behind, she continues, was his sandals, placed side by side. Facing the bamboo, she pauses. Some say he became part of it. Others say he heard something calling him in. Either way, they've never walked that spiral since. Your fingers freeze on the map. You realize you're tracing that exact line right now. Have you ever walked it? You ask. She nods slowly. Once. What did you see? She smiles, tired, crooked smile that looks like it's holding back a scream. Things that only grow in silence. You don't sleep that night. You return the next morning, not because you're brave, but because curiosity is louder than common sense. The bamboo grove is exactly where you left it, though it feels closer somehow. Like it crept a little during the night, hungry for something warm. The air is thick again, but not in a humid weight, thick like a church right after a funeral. You stand at the edge of the path, the same one from the map, the spiral. There's a part of you that wants to run. Another part whispers, you already stepped into it the moment you asked your first question. You step forward. Immediately, you notice something different. The sounds. You hear the bamboo. Yes, but now there's a second rhythm beneath it, like two heartbeats, one slow and one impatient. Your feet crunch the dry leaves, but the sound is swallowed quickly, like the forest doesn't want to let it echo. About 50 steps in, the air grows cooler. Not cold, just colder than it should be. And there, standing off to the side, is a boy, barefoot, no more than 10, wearing an old-school uniform, khaki shorts, blue shirt, the kind that hasn't been used since the early 90s. He doesn't move. You freeze. Hey, "Are you lost?" You ask. He turns his head toward you, just slightly. Enough for you to see one thing very clearly. His eyes are closed. But you're absolutely sure he's looking at you. You glance behind. No sign of the old woman. No sign of any other person. The grove has sealed itself around you, like a zipper closing. The boy finally speaks, but not with words. You hear the phrase, "Why did you bury it so deep?" inside your skull, not with your ears. You take a step back. He doesn't follow. Instead, he points at a small clearing ahead, and then he vanishes. Not like poof, no smoke, no sparkles. Just ... One frame he's there, the next he isn't. Like he was edited out of reality, mid-breath. You consider turning round, but the path behind you looks different now. The trees aren't where they were before. The groove of the dirt feels like it's rewritten itself. You don't want to go forward, but you really don't want to go back. So you follow where the boy pointed. At the clearing, there's something you didn't expect. Color. A single red ribbon tied high around a stalk of bamboo. It flutters softly, like someone exhaling against it from very close. It smells faintly of burnt sugar and wet stones. You reach for it. The moment your fingers graze the ribbon, there's a snap. Not from the bamboo. From inside your head, your vision doubles, then triples. You see the grove around you, but layered over it is another Sina memory, maybe not yours. A funeral. Monks in saffron robes. A woman crying into her knees. A body wrapped in banana leaves. You blink, it fades. You're alone again, with the ribbon still warm in your hand. You hear a voice, now her voice. The old woman. Some memories the forest offers you. Others it forces. You spin around. She's standing there, 10 feet behind you, barefoot in the dirt. Her cane hanging from her fingers, like she forgot she needed it. She nods toward the ribbon. That's where the boy used to pray. You swallow. The barefoot kid. She doesn't answer that. Ko says, he wasn't praying for help. He was praying for forgiveness. A long pause. For what? She shrugs. The forest hasn't told me that part yet. You exhale slowly, your heart racing with a strange combination of fear and fascination. You've stepped into something you don't fully understand, but some part of you feels connected. Like a wire has been plugged in that you didn't know existed. And just before the scene fades, the old woman says softly, "Tonight, try not to dream too loud." The grove listens. You get home before dark. At least, that's what the clock says. But something's off. Your house doesn't feel like your house. It's like someone printed a copy of it from memory. Everything's in the right place, but the texture is just slightly wrong. Like the couch is too quiet when you sit down. like the fridge hums in the wrong key. You stand in the living room, trying to shake the feeling. That's when you notice your shoes. They're muddy, but not with regular mud. This dirt is black, rich, with flecks of something shiny. You didn't step in that out there, did you? You look at your hands, still stained from the ribbon. You scrub them in the sink until the water runs pink, then clear. But under your nails, something red still lingers, like juice from a fruit that shouldn't grow here. You tell yourself, sleep, just sleep, reset tomorrow. You brush your teeth half-heartedly. You scroll through your phone until your brain starts to dissolve, then lights off. Fan on, blanket over one leg, like a fool. You lie there in the dark, just trying to remember what it felt like to be normal. But the night is thick, too thick. You know that feeling when the room is quiet, but your body knows something else is breathing in it. Yeah, that you try to ignore it until something clicks. It's your closet. You always leave it open. Now it's closed. You didn't close it. You know you didn't. But there it is. Shut tight. You wait. Maybe your cat did it. You don't have a cat. Not anymore. You get up. Step by step. Wood floor cold on your soles. You open the closet. Nothing, of course. You almost laughing till you hear it. A soft breath from inside the walls. It's the exact rhythm of the bamboo from the forest. And now you're wide awake. You rush back to bed and do that thing where you hide under the covers like a toddler, as if cotton is stronger than spirits. Eventually, you drift off and you dream. You dream of the boy again, only now he's older. Maybe 17. He's still barefoot, but wearing all black. Sitting in a circle of ash, and he's whispering something. You lean in, Aka, he says. Don't let her teach you your name. Once she knows it, you stay. You wake up gasping. It's still dark, but your room smells different, like burnt sugar and wet stones, just like the grove. And on your nightstand is the red ribbon, folded neatly, still warm. You don't touch it, not this time. You just sit there, listening to the fan, hoping it'll drown out the forest in your walls. And somewhere, far off, too far to be inside the house, you hear a flute. Not a melody, just one long, soft note. And you know you've brought something back. Or maybe it brought you. You wake up tired. The kind of tired that makes your bones feel older than you are. You try to shake off the dream, but it's stubborn. It clings like smoke. You skip breakfast. You skip your usual routines. Something inside you just wants to sit and listen. So you do. And the house listens back. There's a subtle hum now. Under the fridge, beneath the floorboards, behind the dry wall. Not quite a noise more like pressure. Like the house is full of breath, held just beneath the skin of reality. You check the ribbon. It's still there, exactly where it shouldn't be. So, naturally, you do the one thing any modern person would do. You post online. You don't get too dramatic, just a short post on a small forum for odd experiences. You type, "Does anyone know why I might be dreaming about bamboo forests and hearing flutes in the walls?" You don't expect answers, but you get one. A message, no username. Just this: stop asking questions you aren't ready to remember. You laugh nervously. Trolls are everywhere. But something about this feels old. Like the message was typed on a machine, older than the internet itself. You reply with a joke. "Cool. Should I also avoid eating forest mushrooms and signing soul contracts?" No response. But when you refresh the page, your post is gone. Not deleted. Never existed. You check your history. Nothing. You shake your head, slighting yourself now. Love that for you. But something clicks. You remember a story. A family trip to Laos. You were a kid. It was hot, sticky. Everything smelled like diesel and grilled meat. But your answer, very odd, and took you aside and told you about a woman. An old woman. The kind people visit when they want to find something they lost. But she doesn't find objects. She finds names. Your aunt said she could speak to the forest. Said she could hold her hand to the bark of a tree and ask it who had been near. You thought it was folklore until now. So you start digging. You find nothing under forest witch Laos, or bamboo whisperer, or even Asian psychic trees. But then you search in Lao. You use Google Translate. It's awful, but you type anyway. And finally, something. Not a website, an image. A photograph scanned from an old book. It's grainy, but you see her. An ancient woman sitting under an arch of woven bamboo. Eyes closed, fingers stained dark as if dipped in charcoal. Her mouth is open, and in the caption, Mei Fi. She speaks with the thicket. You stare at the photo. You feel like you know her, like she knew you. And there's that pressure again. In your chest, behind your ears, at the base of your spine. You glance back at the ribbon. Now it's tied in a perfect knot, and your hand hurts. You look at your palm. 4 dots, like teeth marks, small ones. Maybe bamboo has teeth. You don't remember dreaming, but you wake up wet, not drenched, not sweaty, just damp, like the air itself clung to you all night. You sniff your shirt. It smells like the inside of a cave, mossy, river stones, something metallic like old coins, and there's mud on your socks, which is weird because you slept in bed. You sit up and your foot nudges something. A bowl. No, not a bowl. A small ceramic cup, cracked on the rim, still filled with water. You didn't put it there, but it's not the cup that makes you freeze. It's what's floating in it. A single bamboo leaf folded into the shape of a boat. You don't scream, "Good job." You just sit there and whisper, "Nope," because now you're sure. Something is inside this house. Not a creature, not a ghost. It's like the house has become a mouth, swallowing pieces of somewhere else. You remember something your aunt said, something you didn't understand as a kid. The forest always remembers the shape of water. You thought it was poetic nonsense, but now the plumbing in your bathroom gurgles like a living throat. The faucets drip when they're turned off. The mirror fogs even though the shower hasn't run in hours. And when you open the window for air, you hear it. The river. There is no river near your home, at least not for miles. But the sound of flowing water is unmistakable, and it's coming from the backyard. You step outside. The grass is wet, soggy, even though it hasn't rained. The wooden fence is damp to the touch, covered in a fine layer of moss that wasn't there yesterday. Then you see the footprints, tiny ones, bare, 4 toes, leading from the center of your yard to your back door. They're not human, but they're not human either. You follow them, barefoot now, feeling the cool earth squish beneath you. The footprints stop beside the base of your old oak tree, and carved into the bark, as if by a blade. You check online. It means, "Do you remember me?" You whisper, "No," but the wind rushes past your ears like 1,000 whispering voices. And somewhere, very far away, but still too close, a flute plays 3 notes, and your feet move on their own. You step forward and sink into the mud. No, not mud. It's warm. Too warm, sticky, sweet-smelling, like tea. And there, in your palm, the 4 dots are now joined by a 5th. A perfect circle, a sigil. And deep in your mind, you hear a woman laugh, not cruelly, but like a grandma watching you try to eat something too spicy and knowing you're about to cry. You try to scrub the symbol off your palm. Hot water, soap, even a toothbrush. Nothing works. It's not just on your skin, it feels like it's inside it, like ink that your blood now carries. You wrap your hand in a towel and sit on the edge of the bathtub. The ceramic cup is still on your bedroom floor. The folded bamboo boat hasn't sunk. You swear it's drifting in circles without moving the water. You glance at your phone. The time reads 4:44 a.m. Not creepy at all. You think about calling someone, your aunt, maybe, but something stops you, because what exactly would you say? Hey, so I think my house is being haunted by a loud grandmother's spirit who communicates through mud, moss, and mysterious tea rituals. Yeah, that'll go great. You open TikTok and search bamboo ghosts grandma. No results. You switch to Google. After an hour of falling down a rabbit hole of folklore blogs, subreddits, and forums so old they still use Comic Sans, one thing becomes clear. There are no clear answers, but you are definitely not alone. A few users mention similar things: bamboo cups, jungle-scented fog, dreams that smell like wet earth. And one comment stands out. It's from a post titled "Forest Echoes" on a forum with barely 12 members. If you hear the flute, it means she knows you're awake. She only appears to those who've forgotten her name. But don't worry, she never forgets yours. You feel like someone just whispered behind your ear. You spin around, nothing, but your towel falls from your wrapped hand. The sigil now pulses faintly, glowing like moss under moonlight. Okay, time to do something you promised you'd never do. Visit your grandmother's old house. The place your family stopped going to after she passed. The one nobody talks about anymore. You get dressed, throw on a hoodie, slip your feet into old shoes that somehow feel damp from the inside. Gross. As you step outside, the air thickens. The stars blink dimly behind a curtain of moving fog. And in the distance, you hear it again. 3 clear notes from a flute. Not a melody, a signal. You follow it, past the quiet streets, down an alley you barely remember from childhood, through the rusted iron gate of your grandmother's abandoned home. It's worse than you remember. The garden is a jungle. Bamboo has overtaken everything. It pulses gently in the wind, like it's breathing. The front door is ajar. Of course it is. You push it open, and on the kitchen table, placed precisely in the center, is another ceramic cup, still warm, with 2 cups beside it. As if waiting for someone, you whisper, "Hello." No answer. Just the sudden sound of a chair creaking across the wooden floor. And then, took you long enough, child. The voice is old, kind, unmistakable. And in that moment, your knees almost give out. Because you remember, the room hasn't changed. Not really. Same cracked tiles on the wall. Same humming refrigerator from the 1970s that always smelled like jackfruit and garlic. And that same dusty lace curtain that somehow never moved, even when the wind blew. But now, something's different, because you can smell the forest. Fresh earth, damp moss, a hint of citrusy smoke. You blink in, there she is, sitting in the same wooden chair she always used, the one with the cane seat and a cushion sewn from scraps of faded silk. Your grandmother, only not quite. Her skin glows faintly like the underbelly of a mushroom. Her hair, once silver, now a tangled crown of tiny vines and black bamboo leaves. And her eyes deep, endless, unreadable, look straight into yours. You've grown, she says, softly. You want to collapse, you want to scream, but all you manage is, you're not real. She smiles. The kind of smile that used to follow a joke no one else heard. Neither are dreams, she replies, but they change you all the same. You sit across from her, legs trembling. She pours tea from an invisible kettle. The steam rises in slow spirals, shapes curling like script in the air. You don't recognize the symbols, but you feel them. Like déjà vu you never earned. She slides a cup toward you. You hesitate. She raises an eyebrow, mockingly. What's wrong? Afraid of your own blood? You glance at the cup hand. The liquid inside isn't brown or green like normal tea. It's a shimmering silver, like starlight melted down and poured from the sky. You lift the cup. It smells like your childhood. Wet bamboo, sun-heated stone, and the dried fish your grandmother always made you eat. You drink, and suddenly, you're not in the kitchen anymore. You're in the bamboo grove. But now, it's night. The moon is enormous, glowing red like an ember. The trees rise around you, impossibly tall. Their leaves whispering secrets in a language you almost understand. You look down, you're barefoot. The ground is soft, pulsing, like you're standing on the back of something ancient, sleeping beneath the earth. And far ahead, between two trees, a figure moves. You squint. It's a child, maybe 7 or 8, carrying a lantern made of bone. You try to speak, but no words come out. The child stops, looks back. Their face is yours. Only it's you at age 8, wearing that ugly dragon print shirt you swore you'd never wear again. They raise the lantern and say something you can't hear and vanish into the mist. You spin around, try to find your grandmother, but the forest is empty. The bamboo leans in, closer, closer, until you realize they're listening. Every breath you take, every heartbeat, the grove responds. A low hum begins, and suddenly, she's awake, whispers the wind. She remembers. The sigil on your palm flares again, glowing through your skin like lightning beneath the surface, and you feel it. The forest is not just alive, it's aware. You are being measured, judged, and perhaps welcomed. Then, without warning, you're back in the kitchen. Steam curls from your cup. Your grandmother stares at you, eyes glinting like obsidian. She leans in, voice low. Now we begin. The kitchen grows darker. Not from the sun setting, no. It's something internal, as though the shadows themselves have started breathing. You look at your grandmother. Her expression hasn't changed, calm, measured, but her presence fills the space like incense thick, warm, and impossible to ignore. She leans back and gestures to the floor in front of you. That's when you notice the woven mat. You're certain it wasn't there before. It's made of twisted bamboo fibers, patterned with strange symbols, some that twitch ever so slightly if you stare too long. In the center, a small pile of objects, a jar of salt, a withered lotus flower, a single crow's feather, and an old photograph of a man you've never seen, but who has your nose. You kneel beside the mat. Your grandmother says softly, "These are your offerings, not gifts, reminders." She picks up the salt. This is what grounds you, the truth of the world, harsh and bitter. Then the lotus. This is your heart, beautiful even in decay. The feather. This is your question. And the photograph. This is your debt. You reach for the photo, drawn to the faded eyes of the stranger. When your fingers touch the edge, your ears ring. Loud noise. Not exactly. More like a change in frequency, like the sound of an old TV turning off. Suddenly, the kitchen trembles. Not violently, just enough to make the hanging ladle sway and the teacups chime like tiny bells. And then, from the walls, the voices begin. Whispers, layered, disjointed. She's brought it back. Too early, too soon. The forest still remembers. Your grandmother doesn't flinch. She simply picks up the feather and presses it into your palm. And as soon as it touches your skin, a memory that isn't yours rushes in. You're standing in the grove again. Only now you're older, taller, dressed in ceremonial white, with your hair tied back and incense smoke swirling around your feet. There are people behind you, figures in masks made from leaves and bone. They chant in a language you don't understand, but somehow feel in your chest. You hold a bowl of red water, and before you, the bamboo parts like curtains. Out steps her. Not your grandmother, someone else, older, stranger, covered in woven vines and silver thread. She reaches for your hand, and just before she touches it, you blink. Back in the kitchen, your grandmother's eyes meet yours. She was the last speaker, she says quietly. The final voice before the grove fell silent. You stare at the mat. Why me? She smiles, a little sadly, because you heard the call. She rises and moves toward the back of the kitchen, where a sliding wooden panel hides a narrow staircase. You didn't know the house even had a second floor. She gestures. Come. It's time to remember your names. The lights flicker, and just before you stand, you swear you hear the mat breathe. The staircase is impossibly narrow, more like a ladder, pretending to be stairs. You grip the rail, which is warm to the touch, like it's been held recently by many hands. As you ascend, the creaking beneath your feet doesn't sound like wood. It sounds like something exhaling. Each step takes you higher but also deeper. You know that makes no sense, but your stomach drops with each rung like you're descending into a mine, not climbing above a kitchen. At the top, a wooden door cracked open. Inside, the room of forgotten names. It's small, humble. Dust dances in the beams of light, filtering through a square window, but something about the air it's dense. Every breath you take feels like it remembers someone else. The walls are covered with sheets of bark, pinned with bamboo thorns. Each one is etched with names in Lao script, weathered and faded, some scratched out so violently you can see the tear marks. You look closer. One bark reads, "You don't know what it means, but it tastes familiar." On a low altar sits an arrangement, a clay bowl, an oil lamp still flickering, and a bundle of black threads tied into a knot. Your grandmother enters behind you. She walks silently, barefoot. The floor doesn't creak for her. She kneels by the altar and begins to chant. It's soft, repetitive, like the hum of bees echoing through stone. You don't understand the words, but they vibrate behind your eyes. You feel something tug at your memory, a moment, but a sensation. Like the first time you were afraid of the dark, or that dream you had as a child, where your name wouldn't come when you tried to speak it. Your grandmother points to a blank piece of bark nailed to the wall. She doesn't ask, she knows, you know. You step forward. Your hand reaches for the dull knife resting on the altar's edge. It's ceremonial short, carved from bone. Not meant for harm, meant for recognition. You press the blade to your thumb, just enough to draw blood, and then you write, not your legal name, not the one your passport remembers, the other one, the one you've never spoken aloud, the one you only heard once in a dream shaped like a forest. The moment your blood touches the bark, the oil lamp flares bright, angry, and then dims to a calm pulse. Your grandmother exhales. She says, "Now they'll know you again." You turn to her, trembling. "Who?" you ask. She touches your cheek, her fingers cool and steady. "The ones who waited." You blink. The room feels smaller now, or maybe heavier. The names on the walls shift like leaves in wind. From outside the window, you hear a soft knock-knock on glass, but on bamboo. Not once, not twice, 3 times, then silence. You whisper, "They're here." Your grandmother nods, and from somewhere behind the altar, the floor begins to open. A square hatch, a wooden ladder leading down into the heart of the house, into the memory below memory. She says one word, descent, and your legs move before your mind agrees. You lower yourself slowly, rung by rung, into the darkness. The wooden ladder creaks, but not in protest. It creaks like it's glad, like it remembers you. As your feet touch the earth floor, a strange comfort settles in your bones. It smells of camphor, soot, and wet leaves, like a cave that dreams. You're in a subterranean chamber. Its walls are made of packed dirt and root, with thick stalks of bamboo piercing in from every direction, like ribs from an ancient beast. In the center, a ring of ash surrounds a patch of moss, and resting on that moss is an object you recognize, even though you've never seen it. A bamboo flute bound in red string. Your grandmother appears at the top of the hatch, looking down. "This is the breath house," she says softly, "where the forest speaks in voices only the sleeping understand." You pick up the flute. It's warm, not like an object, but like a hand. You don't know how to play, but your fingers do. The first note you blow isn't a sound, it's a shape, a wind shape. It spins out of the flute, catching dust in silence as it coils upward into the chamber, stirring the bamboo walls until they shiver in reply. You blow again, and this time you hear a top-second flute answering, not echoing, not copying, replying. It's faint, far off, like it's being played through the forest's throat. Your grandmother nods, satisfied. "They hear you now," she says. "That's all they needed." You want to ask, who again, but the question feels too small now. Instead, you ask, "What do I do?" She steps fully into the room. In the dim light, her body doesn't cast a shadow. You listen, she says, and you breathe like they breathe. You close your eyes. Inhale, exhale, inhale, inhale through a memory that isn't yours. Exhaling to a silence that welcomes you. You feel the chamber stretch, not physically, but in time. You're no longer sure if you're 24 years old or 124. You feel yourself back in a cradle made of reeds, rocked by wind. You see a face. She's humming something. She's humming something. The tune matches the flute. The tune matches the silence. Your grandmother touches your shoulder. "When you leave this room," she says, "you'll see them." You open your mouth to ask again. Always the same question. But this time, the answer arrives before the words. They are you. The versions of you that stayed behind. The fragments that never stopped listening. The selves that whispered through dreams and goosebumps, and that feeling of being watched on empty staircases. The other yous. The bamboo groans. Above you, something shifts. Light changes. It's time to go up. But the flute, You can't bring it with you. You kneel, place it back on the moss, and when your fingers let go, it exhales one final note. A sigh shaped like your real name. You blink once, just once, and when your eyes open again, it's day, or something that pretends to be day. You're standing at the edge of a narrow trail, carved faintly into a mist-covered forest. The trees are tall and bamboo-like, but ... stranger now. Their stalks twist subtly, like they're listening, leaning toward you ever so slightly. The air is thick with scentless grass, ash, old rain, and something sweet, like mangoes left too long in the sun. Your grandmother is gone. Or maybe she never climbed up after all. But you're not afraid, because the flute song still echoes inside you, and your breath is no longer yours alone. You walk forward, and the mist parts gently before you, like an old friend making room on the bench. As you walk, you realize something. The forest has no sounds, no birds, no insects, no wind. Just the soft crunch of your steps and the thrum of your heartbeat, which makes it all the more noticeable when you hear footsteps behind you, not hurried, not stealthy, just deliberate. You stop, they stop. You step forward, they step too. You turn around, and there's no one. But then you remember what she said. You'll see them, and you do. Not in a reflection, not in shadows, but just beyond your direct gaze. Peripheral presences walking with you. Not threatening, not comforting either, just aware. You reach a fork in the trail. Left leads to light, a clearing. Right leads to darkness, dense bamboo. You hear your own voice, distant and soft, say, "You already know the answer." And, strangely, you do. You take the right path. As soon as you do, the others follow closer. Now you can almost feel them brushing past your shoulders, breathing in sync with you. You pass a stone carved with symbols, Lao script, but older, weathered. You can't read it, but your breath catches like it remembers the words. Time isn't a river. It's a looped whisper in the reeds. Head, a woman appears. You don't recognize her, but she smiles like you've shared 1,000 conversations. She wears a blue cotton scarf and holds a clay pot. No words pass between you. She simply dips her hand into the pot, draws a white mark across your forehead, and nods toward a cluster of trees forming an archway ahead. You step through, and the bamboo exhales. No, not the plants, the spirits within them. A gust of wind rushes past, but it's not weather, it's memory. You're 9 years old, hiding under a table from a storm. You're 15, staring at a bonfire. Certain something behind you just whispered your name. You're 23, waking up from a dream where the trees wept gold sap onto your skin. All of those moments collapse into this one breath, this one step. When you come out the other side, you're changed. Not visibly, but internally. You've passed into another rhythm. Like a drummer shifting beat mid-song. You're in tune now, and the forest nods. You've walked only a few more steps when you notice you're casting more than one shadow. One is yours, the others don't move quite the same. They follow closely, mimicking your gestures, but a second too slow. Their heads tilt when yours is still. Their arms sway with a delay, like actors unsure of the cue. You test it wave slowly. All your shadows wave back, but not in unison. It should be terrifying, but it isn't, because somewhere deep inside you recognize them. They're not people, not in the way you'd normally think. They're memories, yours, other versions of you that wandered too far into a dream and never left. The old woman once said, "The forest remembers your steps, even the ones you haven't taken yet." This is what she meant. You're not alone in this timeline. You stop to rest beside a stone lantern, half buried in moss. There's no flame inside, only water, perfectly still. You lean forward. Instead of your reflection, you see a child version of you, maybe 6 or 7 years old, crouching in a bamboo grove, trying not to cry. He looks up suddenly, sensing your presence, and smiles. You want to reach in to comfort him, but the water's surface trembles and fades, gone. When you stand again, one of your shadows has vanished. You don't know whether to feel relieved or bereaved. The forest path curves, and ahead, the sky turns saffron. Not sunset, exactly more like the color of old paper left in sun and smoke. There's no real source of light, just that golden glow, flickering between stalks of bamboo that begin to arch more steeply above you, like ribs in a vast skeletal dome. You begin to notice shapes etched into the bark, faces, some laughing, some screaming, and some simply watching. You try not to stare too long, but curiosity is a cruel gift. So you lean closer to one trunk and place your hand on its hand. The bark ripples. You yank back, and a voice, your voice, whispers from inside. "I remember you." It's neither hostile nor warm. It's factual. And the realization dawns. These trees are not haunted. They are the haunters. They are the keepers of echoes, the storage of footsteps, the vaults of intention. And you're walking right through their archive. For a moment, you wonder if this is what ghosts feel like, wandering within other people's lives, remembering things that aren't fully theirs. You look at your hand again. A faint line pale and glowing runs from your wrist to your elbow, just permanent. You press forward, passing through a veil of hanging leaves that feel cool and wet, like breathing through silk. And then you hear your name, not shouted, not spoken, sung, soft and slow, in a melody you've never heard, but somehow already know. Your grandmother's lullaby, but different, older. The shadows behind you fall into step again. This time, they move together, harmonized, like they've been waiting for this part of the song to begin. And somewhere up ahead, you feel something waiting. Not a threat, a threshold. You're not afraid. But the air tastes different now, like you're getting close to the part of a story that never gets written down. You cross beneath a sagging arch of woven vines, each leaf trembling ever so slightly, though there's no wind. The shadows behind you halt at the threshold. They don't follow, they just watch, as if this part of the forest isn't for them. You take one step forward. The air cools immediately, like plunging your thoughts into a bowl of stream water. Sound dampens. Even your breath seems muffled. You listen closely, and the bamboo begins to whisper back, not in words, in images, emotions, the way a smell can drag you across decades in a heartbeat. You don't hear anything. You remember things that never happened. A bird, a scream, a bowl shattering on stone, a hand you've never held, brushing your face, a goodbye you don't remember saying, but the ache in your stomach tells you it mattered. This is what she meant, the old woman, that the bamboo can speak, but you never imagined it would speak in you. You try to ground yourself. You look at your hands. They seem further away. Or maybe your arms are longer than before. You blink fast. Nope, still yours. Just slightly borrowed. You walk slowly. The stalks are taller here, wider. You could fit your whole body in the hollow of one if you tried. Some are etched with faint grooves and chant, Lao scripts, symbols you vaguely recall from dusty museum labels. But others are newer, fresher, names, dozens of them. Some in Lao, some in languages you can't place. Some are just drawings, faces, animals, moons. You run your finger over one, and your heart skips. It's your name, but written in a hand you don't recognize. Dated 5 years in the future. A chill runs down your spine, not dread. Recognition, like the future has already remembered you. And then, from behind one of the thickest stalks, you hear something stir. Not footsteps, not breathing, chimes. Soft, hollow, made of bone, maybe. Or bamboo, it's hard to tell. They jingle gently, like laughter, trying not to wake someone. You, round the corner. There she is. The old woman, seated cross-legged on a moss mat, hands folded, eyes closed. Her mouth moves silent prayers, but the forest around her reacts. Leaves flutter upward against gravity. A frog nearby croaks once, then turns its head toward her as if listening. You don't speak. She opens her eyes slowly. They don't reflect light the way human eyes should. They reflect sound. And when she speaks, it's like listening to a flute through thick fog. You've walked far, but the path still bends. You nod, though you don't know what she means. She pats the moss beside her. You sit, and the earth exhales. You both sit in silence for what feels like a minute or an hour. You're not sure anymore, but your breath slows. Your thoughts loosen. Finally, she says, "You heard them, didn't you? The trees." You nod again. Good. That means they heard you, too. You swallow. What did they say? You ask. She smiles gently, like you just asked the river why it moves. They said, "Let him remember the silence." You want to ask more, but the wind shifts. A new sound trickles through the grove. Footsteps, slow, bare, not hers, not yours. You both turn toward the sound. The bamboo ahead parts gently, like curtains drawn for a performance. And something wore, someone steps forward. It wears your face, but not the one from the mirror. This is a version of you that's been here longer than time should allow. It stares at you, unblinking. You know what comes next, because you've already dreamed it. It steps out of the bamboo with no sound, not even a rustle beneath its feet. It wears your face, but not quite your expression. The eyes are too still, too old. The mouth is shaped into something that might have once been a smile, but got tired halfway. It tilts its head, and you tilt yours, not out of mimicry, out of instinct, because this isn't a stranger. This is you, or more precisely, the version of you that stayed. The old woman doesn't flinch. She simply folds her hands, closes her eyes again, and becomes air. The other you steps closer. No threat, no hurry, just curiosity. Like it's trying to remember what being you felt like. You feel your pulse rising, but oddly, your breath is calm, deep even. Like your body knows there's no point in panic when you're facing yourself. You came back, it says. The voice is familiar. Your voice, but deeper, slower, like it's been stretched by silence and wrapped in moss. You always come back. You want to say something clever, or skeptical, or at least grounded. Instead, you whisper, "Why do I feel like I never left?" It smiles. This time, for real. Because time bends here. It folds, like bamboo in the rain. You left pieces of yourself in every memory. That's how the forest remembers. You glance down at your hands. They're shaking, slightly not out of fear, but effort. Like holding two timelines in the same bones is heavier than you thought. So, what now? You ask. It points behind you. You turn. The forest has changed again. The sky is visible now, but it's not any sky you know. The stars are wrong, closer to blue. They pulse with slow rhythm, like lungs drawing in moonlight. Below them, a path appears, not made of dirt or stone, a path of dreams, soft and shimmering, like sleep woven into silk. Your other self watches you. If you walk that path, you'll see the rest, not just the answers, the reasons, the regrets, the rituals. You hesitate. Will I come back? It shrugs. Depends on how much of you is left when you're done. Fair enough. You turn to the old woman, but she's gone. Only the moss remains, warm. A cricket chirps beside your foot. Once, twice, then silence. Your other self starts to walk down the dream path. You follow. The ground doesn't crunch. It hums beneath your feet. Like a lullaby you've never heard, but somehow know all the words too. Each step is a memory, not yours. The forests, a birth under the roots of a banyan tree. A scream swallowed by a storm. The final breath of a monk who forgot his own name. You see it all, feel it all, not like watching a movie. More like standing inside a prayer. As you walk, the sky begins to weep, light tiny particles falling like silver rain, soaking into your skin. You can feel your heartbeat sensing with the rhythm of the trees. And up ahead, something waits. A figure cloaked in night, motionless. Not your shadow, not your past, but something much older. The one who taught the old woman to listen. The one the bamboo calls ancestor. You're not ready, but you walk anyway, because something inside you has to know what comes next. You stop a few paces away from the figure cloaked in night. It doesn't move, doesn't breathe, doesn't even cast a shadow, despite standing directly under that alien, blue pulsing sky. Your first instinct, run. Second instinct, bow. What you actually do, you just blink, slowly, like your eyes are adjusting to something older than light. The figure raises a hand not as a threat, but as an invitation. And suddenly, you're dry. The humidity, the sweat, the forest's sticky breath, gone. Your clothes hang comfortably. Your lungs feel light again, like they've never known pollution or grief. This is what air must have felt like before we gave it names. You followed the dreams, the figure says. The voice sounds like 100 streams talking at once. Not quite male, not quite female, not quite human, but it knows you. It speaks in a rhythm your bones recognize. Why? You pause, then answer honestly, because I had to know who she was, who I am. The figure nods, not as approval, more like recognition. The way old trees might nod when a wind finally makes them remember their first seed. Then listen. It kneels and places a hand on the dream path. You kneel awkwardly at first, then naturally, like your knees always knew how to do this. A pulse rises through the earth, soft, steady, like a heartbeat beneath centuries of soil. This forest, the ancestor begins, was once silence. No wind, no song, no death, until she came. The old woman. She did not plant seeds. She planted listening. You hear whispers, not voices, but sounds of old rituals. Bamboo flutes echoing across lifetimes. Prayers mumbled into clay pots. Cries of babies born without fathers. Laughter of widows who never stopped wearing red. The ancestor continues. She gave us language, but not words. She taught us to hear pain through roots and forgiveness in falling leaves. But there was a cost. You feel it before he says it. A sorrow so old it no longer hurts. It just weighs. To speak with the forest, she gave up her name. To remember others, she forgot herself. You glance toward the trees. They shimmer now, each one breathing almost imperceptibly. You remember the way she closed her eyes in section 1, how she didn't speak unless the forest spoke through her. She's still here, you whisper. Of course, the ancestor replies, but not as you expect. You look down and your hands are changing. Not aging, not fading, becoming translucent. You can see roots beneath your skin, tiny threads of memory growing outward, branching like thoughts into the wind. You're becoming a part of it. You pull back, startled. Easy, the ancestor says, gently. Not yet. Few do. Most only come for answers. You came for understanding. You swallow. A lump in your throat. You don't know if it's fear or honor. Maybe both. The ancestor rises, turning its back to you for the first time. Ahead lies another path. This one is not made of dreams. Not light, not roots, but of echoes. Each footstep rings like a memory that never finished playing. Walk it if you wish. The ancestor says, without looking back. But know this, the forest will ask something in return. What kind of something? A name, a memory, a choice. Sometimes, even a promise you didn't realize you made. You stand up. The echo path waits. You take the first step. And the forest doesn't just watch you, it remembers you. The echo path feels nothing like the dream path before it. That one was soft, like breath against your neck. This one, it hums. With every step, the ground beneath you sinks faintly. A low vibration, like a cello string plucked far beneath the earth. You're not walking on dirt or stone, you're walking on memory. And each step you take, you feel a question being asked. You don't understand the words, but you feel them. Like when someone asks if you're okay and you lip it, your heartbeat doesn't. The forest is asking something ancient, and it wants truth. You pass a grove of broken bamboo stalks, each one snapped at the middle as if bent by grief. Among them, a small clay jar sits, covered in moss. It hums louder as you approach. You don't touch it. Not yet. That jar holds a promise. A voice says from behind you. You turn, but no one's there. Only the jar and the hum. And your pulse growing louder in your ears. As you lean closer, an image blooms in your mind. An old woman, you know her by now, sitting cross-legged under moonlight, carving words into the jar with a sharpened twig. Her hands tremble, not from fear, but from urgency. She's speaking softly. If they forget me, let the wind remember. And then she seals it, buries it, and walks away, knowing she may never return. The jar vibrates faintly under your hand. You lift the lid. Nothing inside, but everything changes. The trees go silent. Even the insects hold their breath. And then you hear her voice. Not in your ears, but in your bones. You carry my story now. Not because you wanted to, but because you listened when no one else did. You blink, trying to keep from crying. It's not sadness, it's something more rare. The kind of honor that doesn't come with medals or applause. Just silence and roots. The forest remembers those who remember it. She continues. But it needs more than memory. A wind stirs the bamboo. You notice something you hadn't before. Carvings, names etched deep into each stalk. Dozens, hundreds, some faded, some fresh, all of them left behind. These are the names of those who made promises. Some kept them, some broke them. All were remembered. And one stalk, one fresh green shoot, has your name slowly forming across it, letter by letter, not carved, but grown. You've been chosen, her voice says, not to lead, not to change, but to remember. You whisper, what do I need to do? She answers with a smile. You can't see, but feel deep in your ribs. Return what was taken. Speak what was silenced. And leave behind nothing but truth. The wind stills. The jar in your lap crumbles to dust. Your hands remain open empty, but somehow heavier. Behind you, the echo path begins to fade. Ahead, a narrow trail opens. This one made not of dreams or memories, but choices. You rise and take your next step. The path ahead is narrower now, winding, crooked, woven between roots that seem to shift slightly each time you blink. You step lightly, as though afraid to wake something beneath. Because, deep down, you know, names carry weight, and here this trail. It's built from those who've been forgotten. The air thickens, not with mist, but with something older, a presence, like walking into a room where arguments once lived. You can't see the memory, but it clings to the walls. You reach a clearing where wooden tags hang from bamboo stalks. Each one carries a name burned into it. But these names don't look familiar, not yet, until you lean closer. One of them bears your mother's name. Not her full name, not her legal one. The name she only whispered once, when you asked her what the spirits called her in her dreams. It pulses faintly. Next to it, another name. Someone you once saw in a fevered dream, long forgotten. A face without a voice. These names aren't carved to honor the dead. They're here because they were never spoken aloud. And that's a wound the forest hasn't healed from. You reach out and touch the tag with your mother's name. Suddenly, you hear her laugh, a soft one, when she thought no one was watching. But it's not a memory. It's current. She's laughing somewhere now, alive, dreaming, maybe remembering you. A low whisper rustles the stalks. Every name forgotten becomes a shadow. Every name remembered becomes a light. You take a breath. So, what happens to the names no one ever knew? The forest doesn't answer. Instead, it shows you. A gust of wind scatters the tags. They clatter like chimes, striking each other until one falls at your feet. This one's blank. No mark, no burn, just smooth wood. You hear the old woman, again her voice, quiet, tired. That one's yours. But my name's already out there, you whisper. No, she replies, your true name. The one you've never said. The one only the wind and roots have known. You lift the tag. It burns faintly in your hand. Not with pain, but with recognition. Then, slowly, letters begin to appear, not written by you, but from you, as if the wood is remembering something you forgot. When it's done, you can't read it, because it's not in a language with letters. It's in the same shape your breath makes when you cry for someone who is ungonging but feels too far, and it's perfect. You hang the tag back on the stalk. This time, it glows. A single light in the dark, faint, steady, real. You turn back toward the trail, but something catches your eye. A figure, bent, hooded, carved from shadow and smoke. It's her, the old woman. This time, you see her face fully. Wrinkled, yes, but her eyes are burning stars. She nods toward the glowing tag. That name, she says softly, was nearly lost, but now it walks with you. Remember it. Speak it, not just with your mouth, but with your choices. And if you must forget anything, let it never be who you truly are. Then, like mist lit by the moon, she's gone, but you feel her still. In your spine, in the air, in the way the bamboo no longer creaks but hums a lullaby only you can hear. And the trail, it widens, leading towards something louder. You hear it before you see it. A low, tremulous murmur like trees gossiping under their breath. Bamboo stems sway, though no wind dares pass. Their movements aren't random. It's rhythmic, deliberate, a kind of language made from rustle and sway. You've stepped into a place where trees speak without leaves. No chirping birds, no insects, just the hollow percussion of bamboo clacking together, forming a pattern too precise to be natural, too familiar to be ignored. It almost sounds like whispers in Morse code. You try to decipher it, but your brain short-circuits a little, like trying to remember a dream while you're still dreaming. Suddenly, the world goes very quiet. And then, snap. A stalk behind you breaks in half without falling. It stays suspended in midair, like it's frozen mid-collapse. You turn slowly. More bamboo begins snapping around you. Not from decay, but by choice, as if the forest is trying to draw your attention somewhere. A single pathway is forming. You follow it. This new trail leads you to a circular ring of bamboo stalks, stripped of their leaves. They stand perfectly still, despite the vibrations you now feel beneath your feet. Like a heartbeat from the soil. In the center, a shallow pit, filled not with dirt but with pages, old paper, scorched at the edges, written in smudged ink. Some look like letters, others journals. One's a child's drawing stick figures holding hands beside a tree. These are conversations the forest has stolen back. Each one carries a piece of something once said but never truly heard. You crouch beside the pit and lift a page. It reads, "I never told her I forgave her." The ink smudges where tears once fell. You grab another. "He died thinking I hated him. I didn't." And another. "No one listened. So I gave up speaking." Your chest tightens. This place, this ring needs a graveyard for unsaid truths. The bamboo around it are the silent listeners, growing taller from every word not spoken. You step into the pit, and for a second, everything stops. Even your own breathing feels like it belongs to someone else. Then one voice rises, a voice you know, not from life, but from loss. Your grandfather's. You never met him, only saw his photo once in an old wallet buried in a box of receipts and yellowed papers. But the voice is his. It speaks directly into your chest knot, your ears. I watched you the day you were born. You kicked like you knew how hard life would be, and I was proud, still am. You forget what speaks without words. Suddenly, the bamboo around you begins to sway, not in wind, but in agreement. The whole circle is alive. It's not just your grandfather. It's everyone who's ever left something unsaid. They speak now through the groans of the stalks, the cracks in dry earth, the flutter of burning paper. And you say nothing, because here, silence is the only language they understand. You step out of the pit, hands trembling. You've taken nothing, but the weight of what you've heard follows you. And the whisper returns. The forest doesn't forget what people silence. One stalk bends forward, gently, blocking your path. There's a phrase carved into it, a single line. Say what must be said. Before the trees say it for you. You place your palm on the stalk hand. For a moment, the bamboo feels like flesh, warm, breathing, waiting. You nod slowly. The stalk lets you pass. And as you walk away, the pages in the pit ignite flames, tall and silent. No smoke, no heat, just light pure and remembering. By the time you return to the narrow trail, everything is quieter than before. Not the peaceful kind of quiet, but the kind where sound seems afraid to exist. Your footsteps no longer echo. Even your breath feels like it vanishes the moment it leaves your lips, as if the forest is swallowing it. You reach a bend in the path where the bamboo curves overhead, forming an arch. You recognize this place from earlier, but something is different now. There's a figure standing at the center of the path. Not a ghost, not a person, something between. Cloaked in shadows, draped in old prayer cloths. Its head is covered with a conical hat woven from withered bamboo leaves. You can't see its face, but its hands hang at its sides, bark-like with thin, root-like tendrils crawling along the fingers. It doesn't move, it only waits. And then, without lifting its head, it speaks not with a mouth, but into your thoughts. You came seeking stories, but stories seek you too. Your knees feel weak from fear, but from the truth echoing in that voice. It gestures slightly toward a bundle lying at its feet, a scroll wrapped in black thread, sealed with a wax stamp bearing a symboline eye inside a ring of bamboo. You kneel to pick it up. The scroll is warm, pulsing slightly, like a heartbeat. You hesitate. Open it, the voice says. What you do next will root you, or erase you. You unwrap it. Inside is your story. Not the one you tell others, but the one you've never dared to write down. Your regrets, your shame, the quiet rage, the soft grief, the love that never turned into words. As you read, tears come not from sadness, but from recognition. This scroll has known you before you ever walked into the forest, before you even believed in ghosts or curses or karma. This is not a haunting. This is a remembering. The figure lifts its head. Its face is a mirror, not made of glass but water, still black water. And in it you see your own face, not as it is, but as it could have been. The person you'd be if you'd spoken your truth, if you'd healed, if you'd listened. Then the figure speaks one last time. Say the words you buried, or bury yourself with them. You close your eyes and you speak, not to the forest, not to the figure, but to yourself, out loud, the name you never said, the apology you never gave, the forgiveness you never allowed. The forest listens, and for the first time all night it sighs. Wind stirs, bamboo shifts, a soft rustle like hands clapping once in gratitude. The figure bows deeply, and without a sound, it vanishes, dissolving into a scatter of leaves, ash, and moonlight. But not, because now the bamboo knows your name, and it does not lie.